everyone, welcome back to another Week Irritations video. We're now week number 40 in the series where I show you everything I've worn all for the week, and it's all for my collection. So some things can be designer, some things can be niche or indie, but most of them are going to be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this whole channel is about, with the exception of this week, even though there's a few caveats in there, because this week, as you'll see by the title or by the look of the thumbnail, I have decided to go through and use up all of my summer-oriented samples I have from certain niche or indie houses, mainly from measuring authors. And those of you who've been watching my Week Irritations for a while already know that I really enjoy them and I bought a lot from them. But there's a lot more colder oriented ones that are coming down the line that I really can't wait to wear either. But I know this isn't really the cheapest option, you know, because especially if you buy full bottles from them, it can be very, very high, even though it's not too bad for the style they do, and especially for the quality. But I do highly encourage you to buy samples and discovery sets from these houses that usually aren't that bad price. I know Imagineering Authors isn't. That way you can get an introduction into the quality of indie style and niche style, especially to that particular house, and for not a bad price either. But this is a pretty good way to go as well. Go ahead and starting off with the first day of last week, which actually didn't start off with samples. That wasn't until Tuesday and after. But starting off on the first day, which is on Sunday, you all know my usual church-going routine. Decided to wear one that I really love. It's my favorite flanker from this house and probably from this brand, even though there's a few others that still have yet to try. Absolutely love it. You've probably seen me talk about it once before, but it's by Hermes, and this one is Terre Hermes Eau Intense Vetiver. This one is amazing. For all of you vetiver lovers out there who think Terre Hermes is not vetiver enough, you can get this one. It is the punch of it. So good. It has a nice little spiciness on the front, which I've had a lot of people say it smells like Christmas spices. I don't know if it's like pepper or some other spice accords, but it is very, very spicy, a lot more so than the original, the ET, and even the Parfum version. And the vetiver in here does come out pretty predominantly. I think it's like a couple of styles of vetiver that's in here, different notes of it. Very earthy, more herbal, aromatic style with a little bit of a almost grassiness as well, a little bit of a greenness, but not overly so. It's very similar to Acre Noir Sport, especially the mid and dry down of that one matches the mid and dry down of this one. So if you want a more budget-friendly, affordable option that smells similar to this, that's a great one to go with. They're actually very, very close, but still the quality on this is great. Again, not a cheapie unless you buy it from a online discount or somewhere very inexpensive or secondhand, but yeah, this one I absolutely love, and it lasted me literally all day. In the morning time is a little cool, in the evening time is a little cool, and it lasts me from one to the other. And in the midday it kind of get a little warm, but I think you still wear this most of the year round. Just don't go heavy with the sprays, especially if it's in the high heat of summer. But still love this one. For all you vetiver lovers out there, this is your scent. But for those of you who are still trying to get into fragrances, or if you don't know if you like vetiver or not, definitely recommend trying a sample of this before you blind buy a full bottle. But yeah, absolutely love this one. It is phenomenal. Now to the first day of that work week, which is on Monday, and for those of you who tuned into my live stream last week, or the last one I had, which was on those fall cheapies, and those of you who watched saw me open up this fragrance, and I said I was going to wear it, and I did, and I made a huge mistake, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. It did not smell at all like what I thought, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, it is by Vince Camuto, and this one is Eau Intenso. This one here is one that when I first smelled it, I was like, oh yeah, it has a little bit of earthy aspect, a little bit of funky aspect. It smells very similar to this other fragrance that I sprayed on a test strip, and that's because I sprayed them both on a test strip at the same time. If you don't know what I'm talking about this fragrance here, Bulgari's Terra Essence. I'll talk about this one on the stream as being like an honorable mention cheapie. If you can't find it for cheap, it's a great one for the fall and spring. Very, very earthy, funky earthy, almost barnyard kind of on the ground kind of thing. And I sprayed this on a test strip, and I accidentally sprayed on the test strip that this was on with this one here, basically layering it. And I was like, ooh, this one smells so great. It smells actually very similar to this other one here. It's because it was that one. It was this on top of it, which I gotta say was a great layering combo, but it was far from the truth of what I was thinking it was smelling like. I was looking at the note breakdowns of Fragrantica, and I was like, oh no, it has way more nuance to it. It doesn't smell like that at all. It actually really did. This one is very lackluster. I thought it had more uniqueness to it, but it really didn't. It smells like a very similar to like Polo Blue, almost Polo Blue Parfum, mixed, or even maybe the ET original, mixed with like Acqua di Gio Profondo and the regular Acqua di Gio. Very airy, very blue style scent, aquamarine, little mineralic, but not so much where it makes it very unique. very, very light, very much a poor performer, just like most Vince Community stuff is, except for their fragrance that I love, which is Terra. But this one, yeah, not really that intense. I don't know how much more it is from the original one, but it did not perform that well. I had to respray it on my lunch break before I went back to work, but yeah, not that great. And I mean, it wasn't a bad price picking stuff bad. It's like $19 for this huge bottle here, so not bad, especially if you love that scent profile. Very, very safe, but it was nowhere near what I thought it was. But I gotta say, layering this on top of this made it much more tolerable, much more like a unique profile. So maybe I'll keep this and layer it on top of it, but who knows for sure. I may just sell it off and see what other people think about it. But yeah, that was my mistake. So again, very easy to wear, very easy going, but nowhere near what I thought it was, and definitely not a great performer, like maybe 4 hours with a medium to infant projection as it started getting down. So yeah, not good at all, but still, Vince Vino is very safe, and most of their stuff is pretty unique in cloning other things. Terra, like I said, is my favorite one by them, the best version of the Eros kind of profile that I've smelled. But yeah, this one, not bad. If you see it out and about and it's for a lesser price than what I got it at, and you want something safe and easy for the spring and summertime, not bad to go with. This one here. Then that Monday night when I got home, I had to go to the church and do some other work and things like that, like I usually do throughout the week, and decided to wear one that I opened up in my live stream before the last one on my Labor Day live stream, and really, really enjoyed this one. Not the best on performance, but the profile and how it smelled and how it came across was way more than what I expected. It's by Banana Republic, and this one is the original Black Walnut, which I don't really see a whole lot. I mean, I see Black Walnut Legend or some other ones like that. This one, very surprising. How Black Walnut Legend, which is a flanker from this, smells a lot like Creative Ventus. This one is very much in its own kind of style, but a little similar to things like Dolce Gabbana The One, mixed with like Jazz Club by Maison Margiela. But this one really nice, like a ambery, herbal, tobacco, a little bit of a leathery, almost boozy kind of style, but very ashy, herbal, aromatic tobacco, a little ambery, sweet. It's very, very nice. I actually really enjoyed it. Like I said, in that profile, that style between The One and Jazz Club and, you know, things like that. Like I said, not the best performance, like a nice medium projection for that 3 to 4 hours. It was noticeably on me, but I mean, again, very, very inexpensive. You can spray it up. It lasts long enough for a date, long enough for like a full gathering. Great for office wear as well, especially when it gets into that very cold of fall and winter. Not bad at all. Really, really like this stuff. Way better than what I was expecting. Again, Banana Republic comes in clutch with most of their stuff, way higher quality than expected. But yeah, this one here, if you see it out and about, definitely recommend getting it, especially if you like tobacco, sweet stuff. It's not bad at all. Now we're getting into that Tuesday and onward, which is where I wore all samples throughout the rest of the week, even until today on Saturday. And I'm going to try to go through these as quick as I can because I've already talked about them here and there. And plus, not all of you might want to stay for me talking about an indie fragrance, even a sample. So I'm going to try to go through these as fast as I can. The first one on that Tuesday I wore was this one here, which is one of my favorite floral soapy scents, period, in the indie world, niche world, whatever. It is this one here by Imaginary Authors, and it is Fox and the Flower Bed. So focus, it is that one there. Love this stuff. And I think really this one, as well as all the other Imaginary Author samples I had, all macerated. I think the seals on these were not that great, so they really oxidized and condensed down very well because they all performed way better than the first time I wore them. But this one, even especially, I said this was like a 3 to 4 hour longevity, but it actually lasted me literally all day. And because I was trying to wear this stuff to spray a lot more, I sprayed a good bit on in the morning and sprayed a good bit back on and refresh at lunch break, and it lasted me well into the night, even on top of the one I wore later. But yeah, this one very, very, very floral white, floral yellow, floral soapy, a little powdery, a little bit of a green garden aspect to it, but mainly it's just soapy, clean florals. Very, very unisex right down the middle for guys and girls both to enjoy. But yeah, not only for everybody. If you don't like florals, this is definitely the one to stay away from. But if you want to see how good a floral fragrance can be, especially when quality is the main focus, this is a phenomenal one to go with. Perfect for spring and summertime, especially spring, like deep in the spring when the white flowers and all the purple ones and all that are blooming. This is the perfect one to go with here. Really enjoyed this one. And that nighttime I came home and wore another one that I knew at first wasn't a great performer, because when I first wore it, I had to refresh twice that day and it still didn't last long. And this one didn't last that long either, but it wasn't nighttime, so I was just spraying it on to enjoy it for that little bit. It only had a little bit left in it, so I sprayed it on top of what was left over from Fox and the Flower Bed. Really enjoy this one too. I kind of want to get a full bottle of this, but it is called Saint Julep. This is one that smells like a Saint Julep, you know, very like a minty, boozy aspect. Oh, there's a sugar note in here, very sweet, has a nice ambriness to it. Very, very enjoyable, a little bit herbal, but not too green, like a nice soft greenness to it. Mainly you're getting a sweet, minty, boozy fragrance out of this, a little bit, like I said, ambers. Very nice, a little freshness in there as well. This stuff is actually really, really nice, very, very good, but again, not the best performer, but you know, not too bad for what it is. Like a nice 3 to 4 hour longevity with a medium projection. Of course, it depends on how much you spray on, you know, for the most part. But yeah, not bad at all. Really enjoyed this. I guess a lot more now than I did the first time I wore it. Maybe did condense down a little bit, but yeah, not bad. Really, really enjoyable. Like for a nice day or nighttime tea party kind of feel is what I get from it. But yeah, really, really good. Love it. On that Wednesday, I wore one that would make Ross from TLTG Reviews, if I can say that fast enough, from TLTG Reviews. It would have made his day, and it'd be right along with his vibe and how he works. It would have made him very proud of me to know if I wore this or not. But yeah, this one, absolutely love it. I think I enjoyed this a lot more now than all the other previous times I wore it. I don't know if my nose was different this week or what, if it's just more appreciative, I don't know. But it smelled way better on me this last time I wore it, and maybe because it was just much more sweeter using up the rest of the sample. But it is by Zaharoff, and this one is Seraphim, or Signature Seraphim Blue. This one, very good. I still get a lot of florals in this, even though he says not a lot of florals. He thinks it's very minty, like spearmint gum, sweet ozonic, and I actually got more of the ozonic sweetness in this one rather than what I did before, but I still got the florals. I did get that marine mineralics. I think there's like a CB note in here, there's some iris, there's a little bit of powdery nature in here, a little ambery kind of warmth in here, a little bit of that freshness, a lot of that like musky cloudness in here. But yeah, cloudness is a word, but that musky cloud effect in here. Like I said, sweet ozonic. This stuff is phenomenal, and this literally lasted me all day, like the whole 7 hours of work from beginning to end. I could smell it on me, and it smelled incredible. I really do think I'm going to get a full bottle of this. I really, really enjoy it. But yeah, not bad at all. Definitely recommend sampling anything from Lord Zaharoff, but especially this one before you kind of go in and try to blind buy. Definitely recommend trying it out before you buy, but I don't think you'll be disappointed at all, especially if you love blue kind of scents, but you want to kind of know a good twist from it. That's the best it can be. Great one to go with. Phenomenal. Also projection really good as well. But yeah, Signature Seraphim Blue, really love this one. You kind of want to buy another sample of it, or might as well go ahead and buy a full bottle. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll see. Then that nighttime I had church again, and it actually rained right before we went to church, and this one I could not believe matched perfectly with the smell of the outside after it rains. You know, that petrichor smell, that wet rock, wet driveway, road, that kind of smell, especially in the woods. A little bit of that muskiness, you know, that like mustiness in there, you know, in the air. This matched really well with it. I actually smelled almost one-to-one with how it smelled just right outside my house. And this one again from Imaginary Authors, and this is Every Storm Serenade. Very much a marine, very heavy, oceanic, not really funky, kind of, you know, like Aqueon and Secretion Magnifique and things like that, or, you know, Megara or Atlas and things like that. It just had that very marine, almost mineralic, oceanic kind of feel. Like I said, that wet rock, like waves washing up on the reef or on the cliffside, and the sun hits it and makes it steam off, and you smell that wet rock kind of smell. Definitely had that aspect to it. Not really that sweet at all, not like one of the other ones later in here. Just had a very nice wet freshness to it. Very nice. Like I said, Every Storm Serenade smelled like you're on the ocean after a storm passes by. It's exactly how it smells. Very immersive, very much an experience, but really enjoyable. It lasted me almost the whole rest of the night, like easily 5 hours or so. It was a nice medium to intimate projection. Then again, I didn't really have a whole lot to spray, but what I did smell on me, I really, really enjoyed it. Absolutely love it. One of the better aquatic freshies, not just because of really how it smelled, but just how it made you feel. I really, really enjoyed this one, and kind of want to get another sample of this before I get a full bottle, maybe one day. Then the next day on that Thursday, this one is the one that if I did get a full bottle out of everything I've worn all through the week from Imaginary Authors, it would be this one. I don't know what it was about it, but I really, really enjoyed it this time rather than any other time before. This one is called Falling Into the Sea. Hopefully it'll focus there on it. Falling Into the Sea. Oh, let me cover my face, that's what it is. But yeah, this one, guys, I used to think that this one was a little more funky, oceanic than even Every Storm Serenade, but when I wore this past time, I got a lot more of a fruity sweetness, like a fresh, watery, fruity sweetness. I think there's like a watermelon or melon note in here. It smelled phenomenal, very fresh, very ripe, you know, very, like I said, ocean spray, water spray in your face kind of freshness, nothing too hefty. It's just nice and easy to wear all the way through. Really, really love this one, and it actually lasted me almost all day, which is very surprising for a freshie like this to kind of go through the whole workday. It did very well, like 5 to 6 hours, if not just a tad bit over that, with a nice medium projection overall. Love this stuff, phenomenal. Probably won't wear that much from the high heat in summer. Probably will evaporate a little more off, but I stayed inside most of the day, didn't have to do a whole lot, and it lasted me a good bit. Love this one though, the fresh, sweet muskiness, the freshness in this, like I said, the fruitiness. Absolutely killer, loved it, not bad at all. Like I said, out of everything here, this is probably the one I get a full bottle of before next summer because I really enjoyed it. Then at nighttime, I wore another one that's very fruity sweet, but a little more citric sweet rather than fruity. I always said it smells like a niche version of Sunny D, but minus the overdose of sweetness. This one is another one by Imaginary Authors, and this one is Sun Drunk. This actually has a unique sand note in it as well, and I think there's a couple of the other ones in here that had a sand note in it, but this one is a little more noticeable, like it dries down, having a little bit of a dusty, earthy, almost powdery feel to it, like a ground feel to it, or a smell to it really, and a feel to it. But it has a very nice opening that's a little fruity, but more citric, almost sparkling, effervescent, slightly sweet, almost like a Sunny D that got freshened up and just sprayed into the air with a little bit of the half the sugar taken out of it. But yeah, still really, really enjoyable. Love this one, and maybe I think Sunny D because the orange kind of look to it, but yeah, perfectly unisex. I always said that this one smells like something that Dolce & Gabbana would put out, and actually after wearing Flogging to the Sea, I think both of them smells exactly like something that Dolce & Gabbana put out in a flanker, if not both of them combined. It smells amazing, absolutely lovely. I even sprayed a little bit on my wife for her to wear since I didn't use all of it, and I was like, well, I don't want to be too loud, so I'm going to spray a little bit on you, and we both enjoyed it very much. And yeah, this was phenomenal, absolutely love it. If you want something that's perfectly unisex and really great for any time of wear from spring to summer, especially even at nighttime, this is a great one to go with. Then on that Friday, the last day of the work week, I wore one that is like the staple of Imaginary Authors. If you're going to get anything from the house, you're going to get a few others. That includes this one as like the face of the house. Like if you want to try something that's the most interesting, that makes the house what it is, you're going to get this one along with a few others. And it's one that is very, very, very unique, especially one accord and one note in it that when you smell it and you think about it, you're never going to be able to unsmell it. It is this one here called the Soft Lawn. If I can get it right, it focuses. And just like the look of the bottle, the colorization tells you, this is a berry green fragrance, like very herbaceous, herbal, grassy green. And I think it's meant to be inspiration from playing like old-fashioned tennis on the court. And what gives it away is the note that's in here that is supposed to be tennis ball. And when you smell it, even a little bit from the atomizer that's left over, it has a very rubbery canned tennis ball smell to it. It is unmistakable, and it's very difficult to get away from. Once you spray it all on, you immediately get hit with that canned, almost fresh, fuzzy green tennis ball smell. It is very interesting. That rubbery smell as well, and a lot of the aromatics and herbaceousness come behind it. A little bit of woodiness, a lot of mossiness and muskiness, and a little bit of a powdery nature to it underneath as well. Very interesting. It actually was a little difficult wearing this the day because I sprayed it that morning and there was still some left over, and I had to respray it again to use up the rest of it on my lunch break, and it was just overbearingly loud. And I know that everyone around me probably was thinking all kind of stuff, just was not saying it, or who knows, maybe it smelled better out in the air than it did by me because I was drowning in the tennis ball. But yeah, very, very interesting. Not gonna be for everybody, but definitely kind of like a talking point or a party trick in your collection. You're gonna be like, hey, you want to smell something that smells like tennis balls? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? Sure, whatever you say. I don't think it smells that much like it. And then you'll spray it on, you'll smell it and be like, oh yeah, it's definitely tennis balls. So if you want to smell like fresh canned, open, fuzzy green rubber tennis balls, this is the one to go with. Very interesting, maybe not the most wearable, but definitely interesting. Then at nighttime, you know, my usual Friday night routine, going out with my wife and baby, going grocery shopping, and also shopping around and other things. Found some really, really, really nice, very new fragrances as well at TJ Maxx. Was surprised to see some of them, and I've been looking for them forever. Thought about buying one of them online. I found it for an even better price than I did online. And it's like a brand new release as well. And I'll talk about those way later on. You'll see me talk about them because they're more colder weather oriented ones. But I wore this one here by Ita Libre de Orange. It's a very unique house. And I don't know if I'll be able to pronounce this right. So I'll try to just show the name instead. It's one that I've worn before. And I actually did enjoy it this past time. It reminded me of a lot of other fragrances as well. But not going to be for everybody, even though it does have a great perfume behind it. And it is very interesting. Again, by Ita Libre de Orange. It is this one here. I really can't pronounce it that well. So I'm gonna try to pronounce it right here. It is Atelier Le Soleil and Marquis de Sade. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, it is that one there. If you can even see any of the letters on it. But this is one that's gonna come across very dry, balsamic, musky, little ambery, resinous, like a lot of like almost a sharp kind of resin balsamic factor to it. Like I said, ambery, a little warm, a little powdery, musky. Has a lot of similarities actually to things like Tommy Hilfiger Impact Intense, minus some of these sweeter, more woody notes. Now, even though there's a lot of woods in this, but more of these sweeter, somewhat, deeper fruity aspects of that, which makes it similar to Layton. If you took out all of that and just had like the element resinous kind of aspects in that, you'd get this one here. But yeah, very interesting. Not gonna be for everybody, but I think it was kind of nice to wear. More of a naturalistic kind of smell. Not anything that's like outstanding, but it has a very, environmental kind of smell to it. Very interesting. Not gonna be the one that everyone's gonna jump out and try to get, but definitely one that if you get the sample kit and you get this in there, then it might be one you find piques your interest a little bit. I definitely recommend buying a discovery set from Eldo because they are an amazing company, very unique stuff, and actually at discounters, a lot of their fragrances are very well priced for being niche, but yeah, not bad at all. I definitely recommend this one or anything from that house if you want something that is very unique and very way out in left field. Then today, Saturday, had a lot of going out, running around out of town, had a lot of things, very busy for majority of the day, and just got back actually a little bit ago, and I wore this here that I still smell on me right now, even my shirt. I actually wore a different shirt, but I sprayed a little bit on this one as well, just again to use it the sample, and I really love this one. Trying to find some inexpensive fragrances that smell close to this. If not, I may just have to eventually try to shell out and get the full bottle of it, but it's by Maison France Kurkdjian, and this one is Masculine Plurial, and you can see the bottle is completely empty, but man, if you want barbershop for the best quality and style it can get and the smoothest it can get, it is this one here. Love it. Very much the shaving cream kind of style, like old school masculine man's man kind of style fragrance, but also being very classy and very, very smooth and actually a little sexy as well. Very much like that soapy, powdery, sweet lavender, a lot of vanilla in here, and a lot of woodiness and a good deep patchouli dry down. Smells amazing, like everything you'd want in a barbershop kind of scent. Very similar to things like At the Barber by Maison Margiela, and even things like maybe Close to Côte d'Azur by Tom Ford and Davidoff's Zeno around that area. Very enjoyable. Absolutely love this one again. Not the most cheap thing because I did get a sample of this, but straight from the company, even at some discounters, it is going to be well over $100, almost $200. So I may have to save up for a good while to get it if I really want it. I do want to get Zeno by Davidoff and see that scratches that itch for me because I did like Côte d'Azur by Tom Ford, and they say Zeno smells a lot like that one, so I'm going to try to get it and try that out instead. But yeah, this one, absolutely lovely. I definitely recommend getting a sample kit from Maison France Kurkdjian. You can get like a sample of Custom 4 for like $30 or $32, which isn't that bad at all. And I think this one, I got General Fluidity Silver, Baccarat Rouge 540, and Grand Soir, even though two of those 4 I haven't been able to wear yet because it hasn't hit the season. But yeah, absolutely love it. It's phenomenal. Really enjoyed this one. If you have anything or if you know of anything that smells similar to this that I think would be good, let me know down in the comments because I absolutely love how the style comes across. Also, performance isn't that bad as well. I still smell it on me now, and I sprayed it like 4 or 5 hours ago. It has a nice medium projection. It smells incredible. Yeah, absolutely love it. Worth the money, I'm pretty sure, but I do want to see if I can get a good one for cheap. And there you go, guys, all the things I've worn all through the week. Again, mostly samples. Like I said, just trying to use up all the samples that I think was summer-oriented and focused. That way I could hurry up and get into the more colder-oriented ones and leave room for everything else to come and play instead. But again, guys, what do you think about most of these here? Anything that piques your interest, maybe something you've tried before that you want to let me know smelled on you and how you experienced it, or maybe things that you haven't experienced yet and you have questions about, let me know down in the comments below and I'll see if I can get with you about it. And as usual, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you like what you saw here, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. up and a like. Let me know to keep making the series and to keep it going, even maybe more out of the box kind of things. And later on, I'll try to have in some new ideas for my weekly rotations, kind of spice things up a little bit. So if you have any suggestions on how to spice up the weekly rotations, let me know down in the comments below and see if I can get any good ideas floating around. And as usual, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the other things that I have planned coming out for all of you guys to enjoy and to watch and hopefully learn from and have a guide about some things. I'd love for you to be right on with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.